Hey guys, how you doing? In this video, I'm going to go over conditional statements. This is going to be a shorter video. So we can, I'm on tryocamelpro.com right here. We can also go to Visual Studio Code and run our commands. However, this is for simplicity and sake of runtime and the sake of not us having to type. So we're going to go over conditional statements. So what are conditional statements? Basically, they are the way to determine two paths on a track. So you either take the left path or the right path. If something is true, you go one way, and if something is false, you go another way. This will be very important in programming, and we'll see why. But let's just go over the syntax and how it all works. So the syntax is if Boolean expression, then something else something. That's kind of the structure of a conditional statement. So let's take an example. If 5 is greater than 3, then we'll print out 5, or we'll just say 5, else 3. And in this case, it'll return 5. If we are doing our coding in Visual Studio Code, we'll probably want to write print int 5 and print int 3, just because OCAML and Visual Studio Code won't give us this lovely return statement right here. So what this is saying, hey, if 5 is greater than 3, then we're going to return 5, else we'll return 3. Else refers to the false statement, and then refers to the immediately true statement. So I could say if true, then this is true. We'll return the string again in OCAML. In Visual Studio Code, you want to say print string with the underscore else. This is false. And right here we have the return statement of this is true. And I could do the arrow keys to go up one, and I could say if false. I cannot type. There we are. Can't go there. Then it returns this is false. And this only works for Boolean expressions. I can't say like if 5 doesn't know what that means. So make sure a Boolean expression either true or false, or something that evaluates a true or false. So again, I could have like if 5 is greater than 3, if 5 is equal to 5, something that evaluates a Boolean expression. Then it'll turn out to be true. So again, it's just represents two ways a program can go, and if something's true, it'll go to the then clause, else it'll go to if it's false, then it'll go to the else clause. So let's look at some edge cases, or things that can go wrong, common mistakes. So I could say if 2 is greater than 1, then we'll return 2. This gives us an error because every conditional statement needs to have a then and an else following the if. There can't just be one way for the program to go. It must have two paths at the minimum. We'll show there could be more. So else 1. Now we know that it'll never go to 1, but it doesn't matter. The compiler, in order to run OCAML, it needs to have both ways, both paths that the program can run. That's a mistake. Another mistake is having this guy. Essentially what this does is that it has inconsistent return types. So here we have a return type of 2, and here we have a return type of string. A return type meaning that, if the expression turns out to be that certain true or false, then what comes out of that expression? Well, in this case 2, in this case a string of 1. They have to be consistent. They can't be int string. And finally, we can have multiple paths to go. So say I'm comparing many numbers. I can say if 5 is equal to 3 or to 1. Actually, just keep this. If 3 is equal to 1, then hey, we'll say 1. Sorry about that. Else if 3 is equal to 2, then hey, we'll return 2. And then else, well, then we know it's probably 3 or something, I don't know. So basically we have 3 branches right here. We have the first branch that says if 3 is equal to 1, then we return 1. Else if 3 is equal to 2, we'll return 2. And then else, 3 is, I guess anything else that can happen, we return 3. So and that's another important thing about else. We have two cases here explicitly written out. It says if 3 is equal to 1, then do this. If 3 is equal to 2, then do that. But everything else, every other possibility, 3 is equal to 49 is encompassed by else. It's not just saying 3 is equal to 3. So else encompasses everything else, all the other possibilities. So in here we have 3 branches, and again, when we want to do our second, we want to do our third branch, before the else, just do if else, expression then. It's the same as the if, except we just replace it with else if. And that's all there is in conditional statements. In the next video, we'll get to variables. Thank you guys very much, and of course, if you have any questions below, leave them in the comments. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys very much.